Alright, sorry about that, folks. Just trying to adjust that. But you know, it's been, well, essentially it's going on, it's been 2 months. It has been 2 months since CM Punk walked out, essentially, on the WWE. Now, there have been many people that have said various reasons as to why he did it, and understandably, some can understand why he did. Some can understand that maybe mentally and physically he's burnt out and he needs time away. Some could probably understand that he had some nagging injuries that he needed to heal. And maybe doctors advised him, hey, after Rumble, try to find a way to take some time off. Heal up from these injuries. You know, and some might even say it's the fact that he was going to be put in a match with Triple H that he felt he didn't want to be in because he probably knew what would happen. Well, what's even more crazy about this is the other rumors and stuff that have come about. The fact that it's been reported that CM Punk has distanced himself from all colleagues, friends, and even family. Well, if that's the case, then why has he been seen, why did someone see him in an airport with AJ Lee that is, and why did AJ have an engagement ring apparently on her finger last night during Raw? Huh? Well, if he distanced himself, then what the heck? You know? And you know, you got a lot of people discussing as to why he did it. Even Paul Heyman's like, hey, the only people that know what's going on are CM Punk, Vince McMahon, and Triple H. And that's from Paul Heyman's mouth. And one has to wonder now, is this all still legit? Is CM Punk just going to wait out his contract and say, I'm done? Or is there bigger plans? You know, to me, I'm kind of borderline, guys. You know, I mean, I look at CM Punk walking out, and I can understand the various reasons why. Whether it's nagging injuries that need to heal up, whether he's personally, whether he, not personally, but whether he's physically and mentally burnt out. I can understand all that. Maybe he's not happy with the direction of the company. I can understand where the direction the company's going in. I can understand that. I can understand maybe he doesn't like the idea that he has to face Triple H with the potential and possibility that he would lose at WrestleMania. You know, I can understand all that. And I can come to accept it. I can. But what still gets me, though, and again, this is why I'm borderline at. I'm borderline to the fact that even if you're CM Punk, you don't just shut everybody out. You at least open up to family. You open up to some friends and confidentially let them know why you did it. So at least they can say, yeah, I've been in contact with CM Punk, but that's all I'm going to say. You don't shut yourself out. This is why I still, borderline-wise, believe, in a sense, we've been worked, or we're being worked. That's how I look at it. Now, again, I know some of you might say, come on, Brian, accept it. He's gone. He's done. Look, I accept it. I do. I understand and respect and accept that he left. He doesn't want to be a part of this, if that's the case. I do. But with all this rumor and speculation, you can't blame me or anybody else that still believes this is one massive work. Let's take a look at, again, and I mentioned this before in a video where I talked about this. Let's take a look at CM Punk's history. When CM Punk supposedly was going to leave Ring of Honor the first time, on his supposed last night, he became Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. And what happened? He worked everybody. He made everybody believe he was leaving. He made everybody that read about him leaving on the internet and everything, he made them believe he was gone. All the IWCers, all the marks, everything. And they bought into it. And he played them. So, the question is, what makes you not think that maybe he's worked with Triple H, maybe he's working with Triple H and Vince McMahon to work you again? Think about it. Think about it this way. What bigger payoff for CM Punk would it be? Let's say he does go into a feud with Triple H, if he ever comes back. What bigger payoff to that feud beginning than basically having him maybe make a return at Mania, cost Triple H the match, and say, look, and basically come out, do a pipe bomb, and explain why he did it. In a pipe bomb-like fashion, and say, hey, we're sick and tired of seeing you guys always around here. I mean, you're supposed to be executive vice president or whatever the heck you are. Why don't you just focus on that? You know, to me, I think there's more to it than meets the eye. And again, part of me wants to believe that he legitimately is left on his own accord, and that it's for one of the reasons people are speculating and talking about. But another part of me just finds it hard to believe that he would walk out on this company just like that. You know, it makes me, it's kind of hard for me to believe that. Which is why I still think it's got to be some kind of massive work that has a payoff in the end. And either that payoff comes Sunday at Mania, the night after, it's got to be something. It's going to be something. I mean, you just don't, like I said, you just don't walk out on your, I mean, if you love the business and you want change that much, you just don't walk out on a company that, I mean, again, this is why I am borderline on this. I am borderline. Because I don't know what to believe anymore. And I think, but part of me wants to believe, in a sense, that this whole situation could be one massive work. But on the other hand, I want to believe it's legit, and maybe CM Punk has one of these legit reasons people have talked about believing. But still, it's, I don't know anymore. And I'm always getting this nagging feeling that something's gonna happen at Mania. It's gonna involve CM Punk. I do. I really do. Now you might say, well, Brian, you might say, well, Brian, you're hoping for too much. Hey, I'm not the only one hoping. There's thousands among thousands of fans at every arena. Every house show, every Raw, every SmackDown, every main event, every NXT, every Superstars. Even right now in New Orleans at WrestleMania, at WrestleMania week, and even probably somewhat just earlier today in New York in Times Square, there were fans chanting Punk's name. And you know it. So I'm not the only one. But again, a part of me wants to believe it's legit and there's a reason for it being legit. But a part of me also feels and believes this is one massive work. I mean, again, you got to look at the clues, folks. You got to look at the clues. I mean, take a look at what Triple H said in his promo with Daniel Bryan. He said, he basically targeted CM Punk saying, about taking your ball and going home. Okay, that could be understood as a shot. No doubt about it. Some might say WWE's taking shots at Punk for what he's done. And they're doing all this to get back at Punk. You know what's funny though? Recently, well, not so recently, but a month ago, Punk was on the cover of the Royal Rumble DVD and Blu-ray. Punk's action figures and anything with his face is still seen on merchandise. Now, if WWE really wanted to distance themselves from Punk, they would call up every retailer out there and say, pull all the CM Punk action figures. Pull anything that may have CM Punk's face on it. Hello? I mean, really? I know some of you might say, well, Brian, you don't know what's going on. You might say, well, Brian, WWE is still hoping. And yeah, they are. And so is everybody else. Which again makes me want to, which again borderlines me and just about every other fan. We want to believe it's legit and there's a legit reason for it. But part of us also feels that this could be one massive work. And if it's a massive work, then it better be a damn good payoff at the end of it. Because I know there's a few people like Jeff Shiegel, the Snake Daddy on OTRS Central. I know that, believe it or not, that guy will do a freaking video on how he feels about this being a work, if it turns out to be that. I can see him doing a video where he would probably rant or something like that on saying, you basically put us through all this crap, you made us believe all this crap, all because you want to work us, and blah, 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 or something like that. I know he would do that. But again, if it is a work, it's got to have a good payoff. If not, you will have people ranting and wondering why. You take a look at what Triple H said last week. He said, we're now in the reality era. Okay, we're in the reality era. So let's be real. That might be something that says, hey, CM Punk could be part of that. He wants to be real, let him be real. The way I look at this, folks, is I don't know what's going on. Nobody does. And I think, to quote Paul Heyman, the only people that do know what's going on are Vince McMahon, Paul Triple H Levesque, and Phil CM Punk Brooks. Those are the only three. And if those are the only three that know, that still makes you wonder whether or not it's legit or it's a work. And we'll find out in due time. If Punk does not show up at Mania in any capacity this Sunday, then yeah, it's a work. If he doesn't show up at the Hall of Fame ceremony sitting next to AJ Lee, it's not a work. And like I said, if he doesn't show up at Mania, it's not a work. That's what I meant to say. So basically, if you don't see Punk in any capacity at the Hall of Fame ceremony, involved in any capacity at WrestleMania, it's not a work. But if we do, if someone says, oh, I saw Punk walking into the Hall of Fame ceremony with AJ, it's not a work. It's a work. And if he does show up, let's say he interferes in one of the big matches, either Triple H, Daniel Bryan, or the Triple Threat, whatever it is, it's a work. So, To me, we just have to wait and see what happens. That's all I can say. That's all I can really say. I mean, you got a lot of people talking. You have fans chanting. I don't know what to believe, but like the title says, CM Punk walkout. Legit work. Still, basically it's going to say right there. CM Punk's walkout. Legit? Is it legit? Is it still legit? Or is it a massive work? You guys let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. I'll talk to y'all later.